breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation pride.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Can't really say TGIF because we got a hurricane brewing. As we say goodbye to Howard, the duck. All right, we're live. Good morning. Hey, it's working. Look. Click, click, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Good morning. Let's show you the puppies. Which dog should we do first? We'll do Hunter. Hunter seems a little needy today, so we'll say hi to Hunter. So good morning, everybody out there in the world. You have tuned into Mike's Weather page here. We welcome you. All the new fans, all the old fans, young fans, girl fans, boy fans, dog fans, Frenchie fans. Yeah, so here we go. We're going to talk tropics. I ramble on. If you get annoyed, please leave. We don't want anybody annoyed. I like to ramble on and show everything. So we'll be showing it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with Ida. Not Idaho. Ida Storm. God, this dog cracks me up. He loves to snort. So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Listen, we got a lot of folks in the Louisiana area. This is like deja vu all over again. Jim Cantori posted an image just a minute ago. We had four storms last year for the area. Memorable storms. So we hate it, but man, we have not seen a track change. Everybody, Jasmine just asked, what's the chances of it moving east? Listen, we are locked in, folks. You know, I love the drama of track changes and the what ifs, but man, we got solid support that this thing is not going to do something unexpected. Right? All right, you little snorter. So we're gonna get all that. Promise. I've already had a Gatorade. Somebody's already announcing they're gonna leave. I love it. Why? What the heck's wrong with people? Well, you know, golly, crazy. All right, big shout out to our local homegrown supporter here, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. you're going to get some squall lines in the Panhandle. So make sure you go to the Pensacola ABC Fine Wine and Spirits and stock up. You're going to get a little bit of action from Ida. ABC located here in Florida. Family owned and operated since the 30s. Just like Mike. Florida, born and raised. Big thanks to ABC. We love them. Hey, I had this pleasant little surprise yesterday I want to share. I got my P.O. box we're going to hit. We knew we got some other stuff, but this came in the mail yesterday. One of our supporters. And it's a book. Corrine, I hope I said your name right, Corrine. But she wrote a nice little letter in there. Said that I hope you enjoy the book. I'm hoping to meet up with all of you on the MWP cruise in March. So look at that. My summer Christmas tree. I appreciate it. I will read it. Looks like a good book the kids will like. So maybe I'll read it to Louie. All right. So let's talk about the tropics. All right. We'll say bye. Hey, what's up, Greg Montgomery? I see you. You're pounding Celsius. Check it out. I got sparkling orange on standby, Greg. You know, I'm losing weight. These things say that you lose weight. Burns body fat. Well, I got a hell of a lot of body fat. So I could drink 2 pitchers of beer, drink 2 of these, and I like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, right? Drink 2 pitchers of beer, drink a Celsius, my net weight stays the same. I don't know if it works that way or not. Probably not. All right. So we got this brewing. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, real quick, I want to bring up Nora. We have some fans over in California, or Baja California. There's a track on Nora. We got Shelly reminded me we had some fans that are watching. It is a hurricane, expected to be a hurricane this weekend. There's the latest track, unfortunately. So there's a time frame. Hurricane watches are up for western parts of Mexico there, but it's definitely going up, doing some landfall. So if you knew that neck of the woods here, we're talking about a peak intensity of 90. So that's for you guys out there. I know Shelly wanted me to post that. We had some fans curious about Nora. Timing. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So, all right, here's a look. Let's leave it right here for now. Let's talk about what the heck is going on. So, nothing's changed. We got, unfortunately, a developing system. It might be developing faster. Remember yesterday we talked about this. You don't want to see this intensify now quicker than it's supposed to because there's nothing stopping this from intensifying more. So the quicker it intensifies now, unfortunately, the quicker it can intensify tomorrow in the Gulf. Celeste, we don't know that yet. Megan, I know. Megan, I'm actually good friends with the CEO. John's his name. So it'll happen. I'm telling you. I just got to reach out to him. We've camped together and we drank beer together. So it's irony how this stuff works. But all right, so here's the current satellite. And unfortunately, it's definitely bubbling. And you can see it. I mean, that is some incredible satellite imagery showing convective burst right over center. Not good. You don't want to see that. So unfortunately, we're watching a hurricane brew before our eyes. Last winds at 8 o'clock were 60 miles an hour, so it's already at 60 miles an hour. The NHC didn't expect it. It's still expected to be a tropical storm here tomorrow, but I think it's going to be quicker. So that's pretty impressive convective burst here that we're seeing. This is high resolution satellite imagery on the College page. It's a lot of frames. I think it's a minute. I think they update every minute almost or something like that. But anyway, there we go. There's our storm bubbling away. We're seeing it expand outward. You can see it in the last few frames starting to grow. So we're talking about a major hurricane. Bill, what's up, buddy? Yeah, they're always a little conservative. The only thing that's different about this system so far is not all models are locked in on Cat 3 or Plus. So the only good news, I guess. We're not, when we were tracking Michael, we had 4 or 5 models showing 930 millibar, 940 millibars. So as of now, the H-Wharf and GFS are your most aggressive. But the others are catching up. But it's growing. And you can start to see that right now. So there's that. Hurricane Hunter's out there right now. Let's take a look at that real quick. They just found a pressure of 997. We have another plane coming out of Florida heading down south. Here's the plane now. This Tropical Tidbits. 997. They haven't gone through this new convective burst yet. So we'll see what kind of winds they find. But it's definitely strengthening quick. So we're probably going to have a hurricane soon. But pressures are falling. That's not good. 997. So it's definitely strengthening. And we don't want to see that. Some important stuff first. We're going to get a new track at 11. Let me pull this up. I guess we'll pull up the, excuse me. I like this one here. Show you the zoomed in version here of the cone. All right. So why do we only have watches up? Well, they only issue watches 48 hours out ahead of time. So it's very deceiving sometimes when we don't have warnings up. Well, they only issue warnings 36 hours out. So the warnings are 100% coming. Don't get misled by the fact you're under a watch. It's kind of deceiving. Listen, and everybody's worried about this jog east. There's nothing. It's not coming to the Panhandle or Peninsula. The spaghetti models are locked in. We might see little wiggles and wobbles. That's very normal. I mean, we could see a track change. Here we can see one here, but as far as that cone, man, we're 2 days out, man, and the models are. That high pressure system is ruling over Florida, and a lot of folks in Florida in the Panhandle obviously are worried about a direct landfall. You're going to get bands, Yes, we got a hurricane watch all the way up to Pensacola. We talked about this yesterday, right? You're going to see effects far from center because of the center line is the cone is where the center of the storm can go. East of the center is still the storm. So, we could have a center, if the center came here, you're going to have a lot of effects pushing off on the east side. That's why we have a hurricane watch outside the cone. People say, why do we have a hurricane watch outside the cone? Well, that's because the cone is just the center of the storm. It's not the effects of the storms. The cone is the center of the storm, so the effects can go way past the center of the cone. It's very deceiving. I wish I could change that somehow, but it's very confusing for a lot of people, even me, sometimes. All right. So there you go. That's the latest track. Unfortunately, it's supposed to be 115 miles an hour on approach. That's the official. If this thing intensifies quicker, this will be quicker, unfortunately. So we still have that potential of a strengthening major hurricane approaching Upper Gulf. And that's as real as it gets. There's no speculation, folks. This is happening before our eyes. So some of the latest models, let's see, the 12Z have not come out yet. God, they're going to come out any second. Any second we're going to see the 12Z. 6Z are right here. So we'll just leave this up. Then we can see if there's been a track change. But when you see a tight cluster of spaghetti models, you're not going to see any crazy changes. I've never seen it 2 days out. When there's confusion with upper air patterns, we see a big spread in spaghetti models. But there's no confusion on upper air patterns right now. Upper air patterns are locked in, and that's where it's going. Sorry. Cheers, by the way. All right, Jennifer, what's up? Oh, man. All right, everybody wants to know how wide it is. Let's jump into that real quick. And then we're going to talk about everything. We got a lot of stuff to show you. I want to show you everything. I promise. Hey, don't forget our YouTube fans. We are on YouTube, by the way. A lot of folks like to watch us on the big screen. I didn't comb my hair very good today. Big thanks to Universal Roofing Contracting over there. We are streaming live. We got 700 people on YouTube watching. Hey, what's up, YouTube? That's crazy. All right, everyone wants to know how wide it is. Let's go Weather Nerds. This is Weather Nerds. We can get a really cool tool. Everyone wants to see how wide it is. So there you go. It's starting to brew. It's going to get bigger. Everything's panning out. I talked endlessly about the loop eddy currents, and now that is the official wording on the National Hurricane Center. So it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool to act like I know what I'm talking about sometimes. Because that loop current is huge. And now everybody's talking about the loop current. But you heard it here first. There I am pointing again. But I will say this. If we were to get anything unexpected, it would be to the east, not the west. I will say that. If this thing slows to a crawl, highly unlikely it's going to stop. High pressure system accelerates our system. They average around 15 miles an hour, anywhere 12, 15, 16. High pressure systems push our system along, and so it's not going to stop. If it stopped, it would react to that approaching front coming down Monday, maybe turn a little bit more. So turn a little bit more. I'm not going to tell anybody they can evacuate. What's up, Rick Taylor over there? Greg Montgomery, Jim Miles, Mike Soul, Leonard Davis. Good day, good morning. Somebody's got me on YouTube. What the hell, man? I'm going to make my little window smaller. Let's see how big it is. All right, so again, big convective burst happening before our eyes. Everybody said today is the day to watch this because today is the day that it's stacked, and now we're starting to see pressures drop. Stacking. If you want to, here's Ida, by the way. There's Ida. This is compliments of Sandy Hoff. But there's Ida. Ida's looking at you. This is the atmosphere. This is atmosphere on drugs. Remember that commercial? Here's your brain. Here's your brain. When you have all levels of the atmosphere stacked, lower level, mid levels, high levels, you got a big system brewing, and we have stacking going on. Pressures are going to drop, storms are going to intensify, and unfortunately, we're going to see a hurricane soon. Width 350, 350. So it's still right around the 350, 400 mile range. There's 400 miles right there. So you could argue maybe it's getting a little bigger. Maybe. There's 359. I don't know. I still say it's around 350 miles wide. The NHC does tell you in their public advisory how far out tropical storm force winds go. Right now, they go out 80 miles from the center. That's going to increase, though. So right now, winds go out 80 miles. So this is about 350 miles wide. All right, so let's look at some more important graphics here. So these are all official graphics now coming out. So when can you see tropical storm force winds? Still Saturday night, Saturday PM right here. This is Saturday night. Just because our storm's going to be somewhere down here, we're going to start to see squall lines as early as Saturday night, even into Florida, Saturday night. So through the night Saturday, we're going to start to see the conditions go downhill. So that means you have pretty much today to prepare and a little bit of tomorrow. So people get confused on this a lot. This is not the cone. This is not the cone of uncertainty. This is when you might be able to see tropical storm force winds from squall lines. Feeder bands is what they tell you. I was called out once. It's not a squall line. It's feeder bands. So tropical storm force winds only extend out, Wayne, now 80 miles. It'll get bigger though. I'm not sure about evacuations yet for the area. Local areas obviously are who you listen to when we have an approaching system. Storm surge is starting to get posted more. I added the graphic, so let's leave this up for a second. So we got 7 to 11 feet now expected. Now this is not a wall of 11-foot water coming in. Surge is so hard to predict, and it's so hard to accurately, forecast. But because we have a potential Category 3 hurricane, we got values already over 10 feet. Now, if our storm intensifies, that means the surge value is going to increase more. So they're already showing 7 to 11 feet of surge along lower Morgan City to Ocean Springs. And we got storm surge all the way to Mississippi, Alabama line. Storm surge possibly even to the tip of Florida. Because, why is that? Because of the East Coast. We get a landfall here. All this water on the eastern side gets pushed from our counterclockwise winds. So we get more surge on the eastern side of a storm than we do the western side. But these are real life surge values that are posted by the NHC. Now, these do not incorporate tide. So tide plus surge gives you something called storm tide, and that adds. We looked at a lot of tide values yesterday, and we didn't see. Ken, I'm working on it, buddy. Shelly and Julie are tag teaming against me. Shelly, she's trying to be the moderator, the peacekeeper. The last text Julie sent me was, "You're going to do what you want to do anyways." All right, so there's a surge. Now there's other surge links on my site. I got a lot of surge links. Surge is very near and dear to me because it definitely affects a lot. It affects evacuations, low-lying areas. You get trapped. You take this kind of stuff seriously if you're in areas that are prone to flooding, because you don't want to get trapped. Rescue responders can't get to you if we're in tropical storm warnings or there's surge. So, that's why you got to heed your local emergency management's advice. And if you're in an area that's prone for surge and you're told to evacuate, you need to evacuate. So there's some models on here. The Storm Surge Inundation Map is an NHC product. We share a lot the other version. Now this one is neat because it takes into account just this storm. The other maps we show you worst case, just for everybody, and it's hard to pinpoint exactly where that landfall is going to be. Landfall shifts a little bit west, a little bit east. Storm surge changes. So this storm surge flooding inundation map here from the NHC is based on the current track, and I like it a lot. So you can really zoom in to areas on the current thinking of track and strength. So all these areas, you got your chart. Yellow's 3 foot, orange is 6 foot, red's more. But we're starting to see these small towns here, leading up to New Orleans area. So you can play around with that. That's on the site. There's Lake Pontchartrain. Obviously, we're getting Slidell, starting to get in the picture here. A lot of Lake Pontchartrain surge. A lot of that's wind driven. But we got residential areas here, waveland. So what they're worried about, obviously, here is this. You got water coming in and has nowhere to go, so it piles up, and based on the current track. So I know we got a lot of folks in this area right here watching, I'm sure. Let's look at waveland, Louisiana, or that's Mississippi, isn't it? Or is that Mississippi? I think Yeah, that's Mississippi. So, I mean, look, there's a lot of houses there. A lot of houses. This area right here, a lot of homes, you know, coming in on that back side here. This area right here is showing up on our map. Of course, I closed it like an idiot. I always close the map I'm looking at. Just, you know, that's just based on the current forecast. And unfortunately, this thing gets stronger, which has got a really good chance it could. You know, so that, you know, this is you know, we're looking at real potentials here that we could see that one particular area flooded. Not good. And, you know, we talked a lot about Katrina yesterday. You know, Katrina obviously is a huge story for New Orleans, but man, Mississippi, the east side, got a lot of water. You know, didn't even make a lot of places didn't even get the news because so much focus was on New Orleans. Obviously, if this thing tracks a little more to the west, these values would be less for these folks, but you know, we got that developing. So surge values are on the site. You can check them out. I got the Sierra map, which also does the same thing. You can really zoom into your area and you know, get some real life, real time stuff. All right, so hurricane hunters are out there. Let's look at that. Let's see, the new spaghetti model should be out. Let's take a look. Let's do a drum roll. Ready? We're going to do a refresh. Refresh. F5. No, they're not out yet. They might, no models yet. All right. So let's look at it. All right, so we're going to leave this up. I got to pee, man. Somebody asked me why we go 919. It's because of the bus. But yeah. Some of these older value, so the Saffir-Simpson scale doesn't go by, I'm learning this every time. I'm trying to memorize this damn thing, so I don't have to keep showing it. But the old Saffir-Simpson scale used to go off of pressure, and it had surge estimates. Now the Saffir-Simpson scale is only wind speed. But ballpark figure, you know, we get a category 3, 9 to 12 foot surge. That's kind of where they come up with this 7 to 11 foot. These numbers still are a good estimate of what you might expect. But, you know, we get the category 4 range. We're getting 13 to 18 foot. Unfortunately, category 5 is 20 foot. You know, I know I say it every show. We got a lot of people who don't watch every show. I hate to be repetitive, but I think the most important thing that ever struck me is the fact that all 4 Category 5 landfalling U.S. hurricanes have been tropical storm 3 days out. Not saying this was going to be Category 5. I'm just saying all 4 of them. And most recently, Michael and Andrew, all 4 were only tropical storm 3 days out. So, you know, don't think because this thing's only a tropical storm right now that it doesn't have time to intensify, because peaking at the wrong time is never good. Lowering pressures increase surge. And unfortunately, lowering pressures mean more inland effects. We get a developing system approaching the coast. We're going to have inland effects that people weren't expecting. Guaranteed inland effects that people aren't expecting. A developing lowering pressure system will not instantly weaken. A lot of people get caught off guard on inland effects. A lot of people. And listen, we haven't even brought up the word. We haven't even talked about power outages yet. Power is the big story more than anything. And, we're going to see power outages way inland. Here's the latest Euro. Now, this is Euro is kind of the weaker model right now, but this still gives you the idea. We're going to see hurricane gusts well inland. This is the current gust map on the Euro, but we're going to see widespread power outages guaranteed. And then we're going to have sporadic on the outer bands, and then we'll have they always have 3 charts. They'll have, well, we probably not that far into Texas, but more on the east side because of the squall lines coming in. So that's, big story. Power outages. People forget power outages. Let's see if the 12Z's out. Nope, no 12Z. We'll just keep peaking. All right. So let's look at models. I might have to take a pee break, man. Make my sandwiches now. All right, and everybody's coming here worried about what's brewing next. Nothing on the horizon. We still got a little spot down south I'll show here at the end. But all right, well, let's jump right into the latest models. We got the latest H-Wharf. Let's show you that. The reason I show the H-Wharf is I firmly believe it's very, very accurate with intensity. Okay, last year it was the only one early on that predicted a lot of these last-minute blow-ups. Remember Hannah, Isaiah, Sally? It was very accurate, and everybody laughed it off until the end of the season when the NHC started quoting the H-Wharf because they knew that the H-Wharf was becoming reliable for intensity. So this is the 00Z. We don't have a fresh one yet. The 6Z. No, they haven't even started 6Z yet. All right. Well, anyway, here's. Well, let's just leave it right here. Here's Sunday early morning. Pressure already 978. So this is a look at what it could look like. This is before daybreak. Now look, we're starting to see some of these bands. There's definitely chances that we're going to get some isolated banding through Florida. Nothing severe. I mean, our afternoon thunderstorms were way worse. Okay, so you're not going to get the hurricane, but you're going to get banding overnight, Saturday night into Sunday. And some of them could be pretty sneaky. They're going to be coming in off that Gulf, so primarily the Florida West Coast. But this is early morning, 54 hours. We go into daybreak. Obviously, we're getting more and more. Pressure down to 967, 961, 955, 951, and then 950. So, that's strengthening on approach. A little slowdown, not good. And we were talking about it, that if we had an early Sunday landfall, it would have less time over water. NHC slowed theirs down a little bit too now, and we're looking at an additional maybe like 6 to 12 hours over water. And that's what you don't want to see is So 950, I mean, we're not still serious, very serious hurricane, but at least we're not seeing 920 yet. But 950 is nothing to joke around with. That's category 3. 950. We can look at winds. Let's look at some estimated winds here after landfall. And on approach here we could see, winds at 102 knots. 102 knots. 117 miles an hour. So, NHC is right on line with the H-Wharf right now. So we got potential there for 115 mile an hour winds. Now, again, this thing strengthens more now. Unfortunately, it's going to strengthen more there. And that's what we don't, you don't want to see that. That's going to happen. That's the only thing we're really watching. We talked about it last night. Things to watch last night, things we're watching right now. This is only supposed to be a tropical storm until tomorrow, 2 a.m. So they didn't, they're not expecting this to be any, storm still tomorrow. Actually, the discussion expected it to be 60 over Cuba in 12 hours. Now it's already 60. So if it strengthens more, then we got to really worry about it becoming faster on landfall. So, I mean, we're rainfall estimates. I've been sharing this all day yesterday, all day today. Look, these are official rainfall totals now from the NHC. Red, 10 to 15 inches. That little pink dot's 15 to 20 inches. That's a lot of rain. Orange areas are 6 to 10 inches. And unfortunately, upwards to Tennessee. They don't want to see any more rain after what they just dealt with last week. But, Heather, everybody's talking about a shift east. What is up with this shift east crap, man? The whole world's panicking about this thing coming to the peninsula or something. I don't know. I tell you, I live and die by the spaghetti models. The steering pressure, the high pressure, we could see little wiggles, little wobbles, but I'm not seeing it. So other systems, there's been a lot more uncertainty. This one is riding that high pressure ridge, and when they lock into them high pressure ridges, man, they roll right along them. But this is a pretty big rain. Remember, inland flooding is a huge story. People focus so much on landfall and wind, they don't talk about the rainfall potential. And so inland flooding, 80 to 90, I think it's around 90% of all hurricane deaths. Believe it or not, it's either 85. It's like, I haven't heard an updated one, but it's above 85%. It's around 90%, but around 90% of all hurricane deaths are water related. Surge and inland flooding, not the wind like you might think. I think we had half of Tropical Storm Ada's deaths were generator related, and that was people running their generators in their garages. Huge. You hear about it every storm. Do not run your generators close to your house. That's carbon monoxide. It's the silent killer. Like Greg's mentioned before, man, invest in a carbon monoxide detector for your home. But it's sad that nearly half, it was around half of the deaths for our storm that we had here in Pinellas County was generator related deaths. So, what's up, Jim Fuller? Surge is 7 to 11 foot. Turn the camera on so I can go pee. I do want to go pee. I want to go pee. Dad, I got to go pee. I will not lie. I've peed in a Mountain Dew bottle driving before. Don't say you haven't done that. I guess I'm mature enough that I can say the peeing was the easy part. When the bottle was almost full, stopping was the hard part. If you know what I'm talking about. Oh, where's the storm now? Well, let's take a look. Where's the storm? All right, hurricane hunters are out there right now. Let's take a look at the hurricane hunters. Last pressure fix was 997. Tropical tidbits here. Take a look. That plane's kind of stuck. The data's stuck. Pressure dropped again, 996. She's growing. The hurricane hunters have yet to enter this area that's really blowing up. So we're going to see some big winds right here, I'm afraid. So pressure's dropping. It's expected to turn a little bit to the north. Don't panic about that yet. Let's look at the ensembles. Remember I said if we were to get any see, we just, I don't even want to say the word shift because we just don't have any. We got a couple outliers, yes, but I got folks here worried, messaging like, oh my God, is it coming to? But if we were to see any thoughts that the high pressure system was going to break down, there would be ensembles predicting that. So that this tells you confidence is pretty high, that their cone is pretty locked in. When we were talking about track shifts in the past, with Sandy and Irma, and let me go back to Irma, by the way, because I feel guilty because apparently we picked up on this Irma not turning, and I had reasons why I didn't guess. But there was modeling suggesting that we were going to see that. Now, so 3 days out, might be hard to see in the screen, but listen, 3 days out, when did Irma make landfall? I can't even remember now. Hit the key September 10th. So 4 days out, we had really wide thinking in the models, and that's up here. There was a lot of questions with high pressure. We had modeling going into golf. We had modeling, and that was a wake-up call, like, hey, there's something going on. So, it's a little different scenario. Now, 3 days out, it was showing East Coast. The next day, it went, see, this is that flip-flopping. The 7th, look, they were all clustered here on the East Coast. And then the next day, it was back on the West Coast. We just haven't seen that. The steering currents on this system are a little bit more locked in as of now, I guess. Never say never. I'll never say never. The Euro, that was the Euro. Let's look. These are on Weather Nerds, by the way. Weathernerds.org. Matt. Then there's the GFS ensemble. So if you live and die by the models, which I do, that's because we're called spaghetti models. Very, 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 very high confidence that this is not going to turn. So that's all we can do. Watch the models, man. We have. Let's go back to tropical tidbits here. We have steering maps we can look at. Here's that high pressure ridge. I hate using the word ridge. It sounds professional. I just call it high pressure. It's a dome. These are your upper level steering current map, and that's a big old high pressure system that has slid this way as we've been predicting, I guess the models have, and this is going to accelerate our system the next day or two. Eventually this high pressure slides a little bit and we get this little weakness and our storm's going to turn. So I mean, you could put theories out and you can say, well, I think a high pressure, but that would just be guessing, in my opinion. So I don't want to throw that out there. I believe in the forecast right now. I believe we can fly. All right, let's look at the individual models here real quick. Let's take a look. And we probably got a new 00Z. Drum roll. Damn it, we ain't got it yet. What the hell is going on here? No 12Z yet. Maybe let me check my other site. Nope. Still 6. So we're waiting on 12Z. All right. Voluntary evacuations, Michelle. Yeah, I'm surprised. All right. So we're gonna take a 15-second pee break. They want Torcon values. All right, we're gonna go pee. Everybody go pee. I gotta pee. I gotta pee. I'm back. This break was brought to you by Oldsmar Water Utilities, because I just used a gallon of water. Oh boy. All right, Leslie. Yeah, I remember when I took the Doritos off. We need intermission music. That would be good. Yeah, I try not to lighten this up too much, folks. I mean, we got a major hurricane coming. And it's going to be bad. I mean, we're going to see you're going to see homes flooded. You're going to see devastation. You're going to see homes destroyed. You're going to see it all. I mean, this is, a major hurricane making landfall, developing hurricane. It's going to be bad. I mean, we are going to see damage. We are going to see it. There's no doubt. Still waiting on the 12Z models. Where art thou? All right, let's look at the latest. Somebody just said the latest H-Warp came out. So let me take a look. Let's look at it on Levi's site because it's free for me. Let's take a look. All right, so the 6Z. The 6Z. Okay, the 6Z's out. I don't know why I wasn't on weather models. It's good to have multiple model sites. All right, so this is fresh. The first H-Warp I showed was the 00Z. This is the 6Z. And let's see what it initialized at. See, this is big. Not big. All right, so it initialized at 997, which is good. Good data. Good data in makes good data out. If this thing's initializing at like 1010, it'd be wrong, but it initialized correctly. So here's what we got. We got developing 992, 87, 85, 77, 70, 64, 59, 45, 44, 43, 41, 40, 40. Not good. So that's the latest H-Wharf developing hurricane Sunday, 940 millibar. And it seems to be the path that all of them are taking. And again, look at the eastern side. All these squalls heading towards Mississippi, Alabama, and even Florida. We have the GFS high resolution model. It's predicted 950. Almost the exact same landfall. The CMC is not really a good intensity model predictor. 979. Same path though. It's hard to tell, but there's New Orleans right here. Oh, in the HMON, I haven't really showed it this year. It was so off and on last year. I don't even like to use it. But anyway, there's 948. So you basically got 3 or 4 models, showing 940, 950. So we if you're placing bets, we got major hurricane coming. The big question now is little wiggles and wobbles. Little wiggles and wobbles are you can't predict them. That's why we have the cone. I mean, there's nobody out there in the world that's going to be able to 100% accurately predict if this thing's going to wiggle to the east or to the west. It's all timing. It's definitely turning eventually. We have that break in the low pressure coming that's going to allow this to pull north and then northeast. And let's take a look at the latest Euro. We can look here. The 60 Euro. You're in trouble. Euro. All right, so let's go to 3 hour. We can zoom into Louisiana. Everybody forgets Mississippi too. I don't. I was reminded that at one time. Don't forget us. All right, here's Mississippi and Louisiana. And latest Euro 6Z, what is it going to show? Drum roll, 957. So that model just came out. I mean, if as far as a direct hit for New Orleans, models have been staying just a little to your west. I mean, not changing the magnitude of what you can see, just the direct hit is staying a little bit to your west. Don't forget the little part of Alabama. Yep, sweet home Alabama. So that's the latest Euro. Let's look at overnight 00Z Euro in case it has different data entered into it. It was a little weaker, 969. So the trend is still the same location between the last couple of Euros. But let's go back to the most current Euro and we'll look at winds. Look at the rainfall. Obviously, it only goes out 90 hours, but we've showed the rainfall a lot. We know it's going to rain. It's going to rain, like that one meme. It's always out there. 10 millimeter wind. You just get the idea where the eye is going to be. Oh, my mom and dad's calling. My mom and dad are in Pennsylvania. 83 years old, 81 years old. Let me say hi to them real quick. It's probably my mom. We do this a lot. Hey.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, what's up?
Did Kathy call and tell you about Janet?
Yeah, and I tried calling you guys. But your cell phone coverage up there is terrible. So I didn't know what to do. I mean, I couldn't leave you a message. But she didn't know. She said by then it might be okay. Oh, so that was yesterday. She didn't know. So I didn't know. I tried again this morning, but it just rained. I just hate it. I didn't know how to get a hold of you. I didn't know what to do. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing great. I'm doing my live. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. We've already talked an hour, so I went over the gist. But hey, when Dad calls, you got to answer Dad. He's 83 years old. Everything's fine. My aunt's not doing too good where he went to visit, so he was giving me an update on that. So, but anyway, these recordings are live. I went live at 9:19, so we went over the first 30 minutes. Promise everything that you need to know. You know, we're just watching the Hurricane Hunters. I mean, everything now is just happening in real time. You know, we saw a little pressure drop down 996. You know, we got big convection bursts happening just to the north. And we definitely are going to be seeing winds catch up to the pressure. The pressure drops usually before the winds catch up. So you'll see pressure drop before the winds increase. You know, it's definitely intensifying. There's our big bubble of convection. So it's strengthening, unfortunately. Conditions ahead, you know, let's dive into that real quick. You know, we talked a lot the last 3 or 4 days about this loop current. Loop eddies are some sort of phenomenon now that, you know, they're finding out, unfortunately, these loop currents, loop eddies. Oh, thank you guys about my aunt. She's fine, I hope. It's just, Mom and Dad, cell phone coverage in Pennsylvania is terrible. And my cousin called to let me know that she might not be, you know, her best shape right now. But I tried calling. You know, my mom and dad are old technology. They don't even have text. They have a phone that doesn't even have text on it. And they don't even have voicemail. They never turn their voicemail on. So I'm like, Dad, I don't know how. He's kind of mad, I think, a little. He's like, why didn't you tell me about Janet? I'm like, I tried calling you, but I can't leave a message. I don't know where you're staying at. You didn't call me yesterday. And every time I call you, it goes, you know, in Pennsylvania, there's, but that's all right. But they're having a good time. But this loop current is big news because it is a warm current of water. Usually they're not this big. Usually they're just little circles of rotating little loop eddies, they call them. This isn't a loop eddy. That's why they're calling it a loop current. Eddy would be if it was spinning. But for some reason this season, it never broke off. And we check into it from time to time thinking it was going to break off, and it never did. It's like a river. Usually they break off and they become little circles and they float around. You know, Harvey had one here by Houston. That's why when Harvey stalled, it had this endless supply of warm water fuel. And this is a concern. This is, you know, it's a Gulf Stream, correct, Jay? So yeah, it's technically the Gulf Stream. It's just usually they break off and form loop eddies, but that's hot water, and unfortunately, this thing's going to be going right over it. Lots of unknowns how strong this can get. Remember, Category 5 hurricanes were only tropical storms 3 days out. Torcon values, hey, I don't know that's a Weather Channel thing. As far as I'm concerned, it's 10. I mean, when you get a landfall, you know, this area right here, probably that'll be your area for tornadoes. That's Florida, obviously, but you know, we're gonna get spinning squall bands, feeder bands. We could have some as early as Saturday night. So saw a graphic yesterday. I don't know if I could ever find it because I put so much stuff on Twitter, but I retweeted it. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. It was a very interesting little tweet. I'm sure I did. Oh, I forget who posted it. Maybe these are my... Oh, there it is. This was Brooks Garner. Hey, Brooke, are you watching, buddy? Brooks, a longtime Tampa Bay Channel 8 meteorologist that went to Colorado, and now he's back to Orlando. So he posted this yesterday. Brooks from Orlando now, Fox 35. But tornadoes, look. Ivan, 120. Harvey had 52 tornadoes. Andrew, 28. Irma, 25 tornadoes. And these are inland effects. So, unexpected hazards of hurricanes, tornadoes. Great graphic. So yeah, we like Brooke. He's pretty cool. Very fortunate that he follows us here on the page. Oh, let's see. We got 12Z models out yet. Ready? Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Man, they must be waiting on hurricane data. There. No 12Z yet. Ah, man, usually it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to burn up my F5. Boop, 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 boop. Don't do that, man. I did that one time when my DNS shut down on me. I had to reset my box. What's up, Shelly? Shelly Ross, Sandy Hoff, kept your weather radio on. Definitely. Listen, if you need weather radio information too, now I got a lot of great links on the site. This is not an entertainment site. This is an educational site. Hopefully, you know, you get some value out of it. I spent a lot of time on it. But we have NOAA Weather Radio right here. All your locals channels are right there. So if you don't have a NOAA Weather Radio, you can click on it and get your local area, which is great. You know, go to Tampa, hit Tampa Bay, and listen
Sunday
to...
night, southeast winds around 10 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet.
Let's go to New Orleans. Let's see if they got one. These are individuals that I believe post these for people too, which is great. Got Baton Rouge, close enough. Hope it works. Nothing yet. Oh, it's coming up. Off air. Monroe.
Temperature was 82 degrees at
Anyway.
the regional airport.
And of course, you can listen to the NOAA Tropical Update.
The Tropical Weather Outlook. Issued at 7:15 a.m.
A lot of great helpful links too, by the way, over here. Hurricane helpful links. Very important stuff here. Insurance claim help. Homeowners checklists. Fact sheets. Preparedness. Window shutters. Should you evacuate or should you stay? Stuff about your pets. Special needs. Pet safety. Kids. So a lot of useful links in there that you can access to help you prepare for the storm. And probably the most two important links on the site are these right here: the National Weather Service Plan and Prepare. I share them all the time, but the weather.gov puts together these great links, things to know about your home, evacuation plans, you know, plan your route. Don't wait. Number 3, leave when ordered. Do not wait. Plan for your pets. Make sure that local, if you are evacuating to a shelter, some evacuation shelters are pet friendly, some aren't. What else are we talking about? Storm chasing, possibility. Boring. Weather's boring in North Carolina. Well, you know it can change. As far as the other two systems out there, we got Invest 97 and 98. Both expected to turn off close to the Azores. Long range, let's show you that real quick. So we've been talking about next week, and the CMC is the only one really consistently showing it. The GFS has been off and on, but generally, if we were to look for the next spot to watch, midweek, here's middle week. So middle of next week, this is the Canadian model. Middle of next week, this is the area we've been talking a lot about that's showing lowering pressures. And, you know, GFS has been off and on. The Canadian is very consistent into Labor Day weekend. So I posted a lot about that yesterday. Canadian is really the only one showing it. The latest GFS showed a little bit. This is the same time window. This is next Wednesday, but it kind of dissipates it a little bit. But the important thing to note is that it's still showing low pressure next week. Icon kind of shows it. Little bump, but kind of has it going into Central America. The Ensemble Maps on Weather Nerds, we can look at the Euro and see that. Is here. Let's take a look at that. So the middle Atlantic wave, we're watching 10 days. There's these lowering pressures. So this is midweek. This is midweek. You can see the Euro starting to pick up on it too. These are Ensemble members, and you know, some of them pull up. A couple of them, not a lot, but you know, this is Labor Day weekend, and you know, the Euro has doing that kind of like so. You know, they're just casually watching it. Here's the other spot that we were watching, Middle Atlantic. So far, some of them are reacting to a northward pull because Ida, by next week, the frontal boundary, like the frontal boundary Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, next week, it's going to weaken our high a little bit. Could pick up whatever out here and pull up a little bit. So that Middle Atlantic wave. So 10 days from now, you know, we're watching here, this general area, and here. Yesterday it was here, now it's here. But so far, because of that weakness that we're seeing in Ida moving on off, not that guy. It'd be this next one coming right here. So this was this is next week, Friday. You can see the wave reacts to this weakness here because of Ida. So as far as long range goes, at least into Labor Day weekend, the only really spot that keeps showing up consistently would be down here, pulling upwards. And it's very, very weak signature right now. So it's a no stress spot to watch. How about that? What's up, Whitney? Is the blue rain? No, Jennifer, good question. The blue's lowering pressures. You can see high pressure, low pressure. Everything is based on low pressure, high pressure with steering currents, and it's a good map to see that. Okay, let's look at another Ensemble Map site and see if we got anything brewing down that neck of the woods. So there's very, very low signature on the Euro. There's our next wave starting to pull up, which is good. Obviously, that far away is never set in stone, but Labor Day weekend, you know, we can have a wave here. We just see the general trends are pulling northward. This area here is a big question mark on the Euro. The GFS is... You can see a few of them. So midweek, there's a couple little spots. Very few. A little bit. So Little bit to watch. This is Labor Day weekend, so you know this will be the spot to watch down here midweek, and if we get anything, it'll pull up. And here's the other wave coming off that we're watching, and of course you get that one going west. But the important thing is this: next Saturday, there's that wave, and potentially something out here. And you can see it actually. The Global Tropics Hazards Map shows it too. What happened? Oh, NOAA warned everybody today. They're experiencing. So if you go to National Hurricane Site or even my site, you see a little box with an X. Hurricane Center noted today that their servers are slow, and there might be intermittent images not showing up. So just refresh. So this is a Global Tropics Hazards Map, right? All right. So this week now that we're in, this is obviously 97, 98, and originally Ida, but now obviously Ida's going up. So next week, the 1st to the 7th, you can see them highlighting this, and we got kind of a CAG set up, the Central American Gyre. We got lowering pressures in that whole region, and there's a little red dots, dashes mean some chance, moderate confidence. So this is that Labor Day spot, and then of course that wave keeps popping up. This is for next week. So the question is that thing curve? So far, this one's showing more of a northerly component. This one's still a big question mark. But I keep posting it, letting people know that's the next spot to watch. But no worries. Let me close some stuff down. Let's check out the old Hurricane Hunters, and then we'll check out our... So like this kind of stuff, see this map? Now it's back. So you just got to refresh, especially some of the NOAA graphics were down. Now they're back. Let's take a look at visible satellite here. Let's see what kind of bubbling we get and big old fanning out. That thing is intensifying big time. Very classic signature here of an intensifying hurricane. Unfortunately. All right, so the Hurricane Hunters are out here flying. Where are they at now? There they are. They're getting ready to make their pass. So they'll be flying. Looks like, I'm not sure the path they're going to be going, but anyway, they're out there right now. We'll see if the 12Z models are out yet, and they are not out yet. So definitely waiting on Hurricane Hunter data for these 12Z model suites to run. So what else is going on? It's got to go. Gabrielle, yeah. I don't understand why we haven't had any evacuations. I don't know the area well enough to even have an opinion on it. Tell you the truth. What we saw earlier today. Unfortunately, there's areas that are going to be probably underwater on the Mississippi side, according to the latest track. And that's, we showed this already, but St. Louis Bay here, the wrong angle here for the storm to be coming in, so that's what they're showing. A lot of water coming in, having nowhere to go. So that area, Slidell, got a lot of areas potentially going to get flooded. But these will change if our storm shifts a little bit or gets stronger. Stronger storm means more surge. There's Lake Charles. A lot of folks are worried about Lake Charles. So far, Lake Charles is on the west side and not expected to get much. So this so far is trending east of Lake Charles. So not deja vu for you guys. So anything else? We got 11 o'clock advisory coming out here in a little bit. Sorry about the pee break and the phone call break. Tornado estimates, not yet, except very, 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 very likely we will see tornadoes. Posted that graphic a little bit ago. Some storms have a lot. I don't even think the Storm Prediction Center is probably even showing it. They're always, well, they got a little bit now. So there's your risk area. This is for Sunday. And here's what it says. While still too early to forecast cycle to have confidence, strength, speed, location of cyclone, historical analogs suggest that at least low probability tornado threat will likely accompany the system, obviously. So they're tornadoes are a given on major hurricane. We don't get a lot of major hurricane landfalls, so take it serious. This is not. You're welcome from Pensacola. And listen, Pensacola, you guys. I wonder if we can get the H4. Let's see here. We can 2 days out. What day is today? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We might be able to see. Pensacola's going to get definite squall lines from this Saturday night late. Possibly early Sunday morning. Let's see if we can go out 48 hours. I don't think. Oh my goodness, that's not what I wanted. What the hell was that? That was maximum radar. We want simulated radar. Oh, we got a new 15-minute. But anyway, here's 48 hours. So here's an expected look at radar. Now, we talked about the Florida. This is Saturday, 3 p.m. And we could see squall lines, entering Florida's west coast Saturday as Ida skirts by. That's why that one cone that shows tropical storm force winds in Florida is because of the feeder bands. I don't know if I should say feeder bands or squall lines. But as far as future radar goes, look, we can start to see squall lines developing as early as Saturday night, way ahead here. So definitely, Pensacola, look. So here's a pretty good little squall line. This is Sunday at 2 a.m. So obviously this model can't predict exact placement, but this is 10 o'clock at night. But the general flow is going to be squall lines coming in at you early Sunday morning, late Saturday night. So this is 10 o'clock at night, Saturday night. And you can see these squall lines getting awfully close here to the panhandle. And then, of course, there's the big stuff. This is Sunday, 8 a.m. So it's important to note, people get focused on where the center is. But these are nasty lines of storms that develop way ahead of center. So even though they show a landfall, let's say Sunday evening, we could still see squall lines Sunday morning approaching. And you might be, wow, I thought I wasn't supposed to get here till Sunday night. Well, that's the center, not the core. The core gets there Sunday night. The feeder bands that approach get there a lot earlier. And why do they say the east side is always the worst side? Well, because look, everything spirals in off of that Gulf of Mexico. Everything fuels off that Gulf of Mexico. Winds push in, counterclockwise winds. Everything pushes that water. So not only do you have the forward speed of a system that pushes the water, you have the lowering pressures actually creates a bulge in the ocean, pushing down, creating more surge. It's a double whammy on the east side. you obviously get surge on the center too, because that's the center storm. But the reason we see these surge estimates extend way out to the east is because of that. So I mean, current landfall is predicted, over here somewhere. But look, we got 7 to 11 foot of surge past New Orleans as these things spiral in. And there's so anyway, so we got a new track coming out. I'm gonna wait for that, and then we'll wait on the 12Z models here. They should be coming out any minute. I don't know. Obviously, they're put on hold right now. All right, cool. All right, so we'll be live tonight for sure. Not sure what time. We'll be live in the morning, tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow morning, we'll know where it's going. So, we will, hopefully everybody's ready for it. Right. So, all right, so be safe out there if you live in that area. Hopefully you got a little bit out of this. We really appreciate you tuning in, being a fan, spreading the word, being part of our cool little family here on the internet. And cheers. We'll see you guys later. I'll be updating the website all day long. Keep it tuned right here on Facebook for all the latest. So